All right, before we jump in this video, big disclaimer. There is no right or wrong way to organize your Pokemon. If you're going to sit here and type in the comments, Jake, you're so dumb, your method sucks, then I got some news for you. Please go touch some grass. Hello and welcome to Atrocious Gameplay. We are going over kind of a unique video today because last week in my community, a lot of people were asking me, Jake, how do you mark your Pokemon? We were in the middle of preparing for Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, trying to organize what I need for Dex entries of those Pokemon games. And since a lot of people were asking me about how I mark my Pokemon, how I organize them, I decided to make it into a little bit of a video. You can, if you want to, use this method. Again, there's no right or wrong way to use marks to organize your Pokemon. This is just the best way that I think is best for me. Now, you can take some of these ideas, you can change some of them on your own to what you want. It's all up to you. But if you do like this video, maybe you want more informative videos of how I organize Pokemon in like Pokemon Home or whatever, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like on the video. But enough of the shenanigans. Let's just get right into it. Now, marking Pokemon is not anything new. It's been around since Generation 3. A lot of the people that I know that have been playing since that time utilize those marks to be able to signify perfect IVs of Pokemon. For example, with this Venusaur that I have, if we went with the old way that people do it, we would mark these three, the square, the heart, and the star, to signify that this Venusaur right here has best IV stats in defense, special attack, and special defense. Now, I don't really like this method because in Pokemon Sword and Shield, it introduced the judge function after you beat Leon in the battle tower to just right up front show you what your IVs are on those specific Pokemon. And so knowing that, for this video, I'm going to be showing you the 12 ways that I mark Pokemon. And again, you can interchange these however you want with whatever you need. There are plenty of ideas. The world is endless. The first mark that we're going to cover is the blue circle mark. And this Pokemon right here, it is very easy. I just label all my event Pokemon that the Pokemon Company has distributed throughout the years this blue circle. Whether it's a mystery gift from Pokemon Home, Pokemon Sword and Shield, one of the legendary events that went on a couple years ago in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, all of those Pokemon get slapped on with this blue circle right here. Now, if you're organizing your Pokemon Home right now and you're kind of unsure which Pokemon are event Pokemon, there are two big indicators in my opinion. One is the Cherish Ball. Now, since Gen 4, Pokemon are usually obtained from events in Cherish Balls. So if you see a Cherish Ball Pokemon, that is one way to signify, oh, this came from an old event. You can also check up here in the like little description area where you can find out what the nature is. It'll say on here, it seems like it came from a Pokemon event. Those are two pretty good indicators in my personal opinion that let me know if this Pokemon is an event Pokemon or not. Now, moving into this Pangoro right here for the blue triangle, that's the one that we're going to focus on for this Pangoro since it has multiple marks. This is the mark that I use to signify that this Pokemon came from somebody else that was not me. Now, you can utilize this mark in one or two ways. Because technically trading Pokemon is any Pokemon that doesn't really come from this save file, you could just do it that way. Whether you're trading with yourself on another Nintendo Switch or you're trading from someone else, you can utilize it like that. Personally, I just like to use it for other people giving me Pokemon. So for example, this Pangoro has the OT of Steph. Steph is one of our community members over on Twitch at twitch.tv/AtrociousGameplay. Link in the description below. And honestly, there are some really cool Pokemon in here. A lot of my traded Pokemon have special Pokeballs as well, like this Pangoro's in a level ball, which is a really cool Pokeball for Pangoro. So it helps me keep track if I ever want to breed like a level ball shiny Pancham or something like that. But if you're trying to figure out which Pokemon didn't originally come from one of your games, all you got to do is check the OT and see which ones are not ones that you have in Pokemon games. Now we're going to move into the blue square now. This is kind of one of my favorite marks in my opinion in this system. This is the blue square, the ribbons and marks section. Now, ribbons have been around for a while since Generation 3, but Generation 8 in Sword and Shield introduced the idea of marked Pokemon. If you're unsure what marked Pokemon are basically the same as shiny. It doesn't really do anything to make a Pokemon better per se, but similar to shiny Pokemon, it just makes them more unique, more rare, gives them a little bit of more personality and connectivity to the player. Now, this exploit that I got came from when we were shiny hunting Whismer way back when, and it ended up having a thorny mark, or as you can see right here, a mark for a pompous Pokemon. Now, not every wild Pokemon that you are going to catch is going to have a mark, so this exploit is extra special to me. One of the coolest things about these marks, in my personal opinion, is if you check it off right here like I have, and then you send it off into battle, once you come across this screen right here, it'll say its title with the mark. So that one, for example, was Exploud the Pompous. Now, you don't have to just do this with marks, because ribbons have the same effect as well on Pokemon. See this one, Exploud the Galar Champion, having the Galar Champion ribbon. Now, there are 45 different marks in Sword and Shield, so you can get a good variety of different Pokemon with different titles to help make at least shiny hunting a little bit more fun. Or even competitive. If you want to play competitive, send out that Pokemon. Now, moving on to the blue one, this blue heart is what I signify as EV trained Pokemon. Now, usually this will run with a lot of your competitive Pokemon that you have. And this Chansey right here, as you can see, if you go to this function, this screen, when looking at a Pokemon, you click X right here. This will basically show you the EV training of your Pokemon. So as you can see, I've maxed out this Chansey in HP and defense. This is kind of a competitive set, if you can. It's not perfect, but I have done the EV training for competitive. Now, this one is basically kind of obvious going into the blue star. You probably were able to tell right away exactly what it was, but this is the mark that I use to signify shiny Pokemon. Now, as someone who shiny hunts usually on Twitch or whatever, I come across a lot of Pokemon, especially when I collect Pokemon for marks along the way. So I want to make sure that I'm not accidentally deleting or losing a Pokemon or releasing or whatever you want to do a shiny Pokemon, especially because in Sword and Shield, in your boxes, the sprites are not shiny themselves, similar to how they are in Pokemon Home. Now, finishing off the blue rows of marks and going over to the blue diamond, this signifies a perfect IV Pokemon. And what I mean by a perfect IV Pokemon is if you go to the judge function, like I was mentioning earlier, this Pokemon has a perfect 6 best IVs. This is what often is considered like the strongest version of a normal Pokemon. For instance, if I had a replica level 49 Haxorus that had no goods across the board, this Haxorus theoretically should be able to beat the one that has no good. Now we're going to be going into the red line of marks, starting off with the red circle. This one's pretty easy. This is just Pokemon that can Gigantamax. Now, because in the Sword and Shield Pokemon games, this PC box right here, or even in Pokemon Home, doesn't show a sprite that is a Gigantamax Butterfree, for example. Instead of always going to the summary of that Pokemon and looking up by the Pokeball and name to see if it's Gigantamax, the red circle is an easy way for me to browse through these boxes and find out, oh, this Butterfree can Gigantamax. Now, moving on to the red triangle, you may look at this Pokemon and its markings and say, hey, this is an event Pokemon, but what's this other mark that you've got? And you are correct, this is an event Pokemon that Pokemon distributed during the Players' Cup, but the red triangle is a Pokemon of another language. So especially when you come across something like Masuda breeding, where you need Pokemon of 2 different languages, using this mark to signify a Pokemon that is a language not the main one in my game. So for example, I use English in my Pokemon games because I can't read any other language. So any Pokemon that is not English, like this Japanese Gastrodon, gets this mark of the red triangle. It's usually pretty easy to tell, especially when you're not looking at the summary of which Pokemon is not English, especially because in the top right corner over there, it'll show you, well, that's not English. And then usually the name gives it away as well. Now, moving on to the red square, this marks Pokemon that have a hidden ability. Now, however you may be going about this, you know, whether you're trying to breed a Pokemon with hidden ability or whatever and trying to move up with the IVs and whatever when you're breeding, I don't know. This is just a really easy way to signify, okay, if I have a lot of Riolus, for example, which one has the hidden ability? For anyone who may be curious as well of what the hidden ability of Riolu is, it's Prankster. Now, going on to the red heart, this is a special one that I personally like to use, and this is Pokemon in challenge runs. So over on Twitch, over at twitch.tv/AtrociousGameplay, we have done a couple different playthroughs of Pokemon games, including Nuzlocke, Egglocke, Shiny Badge Quest, things of that nature. And so for those Pokemon in those games, I like to signify with the red heart to kind of give me a little bit of memory of like, oh my gosh, we used this Pokemon during a special moment over on Twitch. For example, this Drampa came from our Egglocke that we did a while ago, where chat sent me different eggs of Pokemon to use in the playthrough. This could also be whatever you want. You know, you could make this like my original first playthrough of the Pokemon game, or just Pokemon that you generally love. Again, there is no wrong way to do your marks. Now, we're going to be skipping over the red star for now because that is kind of the final one that kind of ties it all together. So we're going to be focusing on this Primarina and his red diamond. Now, this one specifically, again, tying back to competitive, is battle ready Pokemon. So this usually is Pokemon that I have used for past teams of series or competitions that I've participated in VGC. Usually these Pokemon will also run around with either like perfect IVs or EV trained, of that nature. Now, going back to that of perfect IVs, what happens if your Pokemon is battle ready but also has perfect 6 IVs? And that is going to be where the red star comes in, why I kind of wanted to save it for last. So this Dragapult right here is a really good example. This is a battle ready Dragapult that I had used on a competitive team, but it also has 6 perfect IVs. Now, you may be looking back and thinking your perfect 6 IV Pokemon have the blue diamond, but your battle ready Pokemon have the red diamond. How would you be able to differentiate if you mark them both? What I personally like to use is the red star for this scenario of when Pokemon have multiple things that come together. This is usually going to happen with your competitive Pokemon if you do the style that I do markings. But basically, the red star tells me that this Pokemon has a lot going on with it right now, and it's a little bit hard to keep track. Now, if you're flabbergasted and you're like, oh my gosh, that was a lot of information to take in, how am I going to remember all this? Here's a graphic right on screen right here that you can screenshot that I'll blab about for a couple seconds, so then it gives you time to screenshot and you can crop and whatever and utilize it, so then you can have this for your own to refer to when you're organizing your Pokemon, if you so specifically want to use this way. But again, that's how I do things. You can do this however way you want. Again, there is no wrong way to do marks on your Pokemon. And so hopefully you got something out of this video. Hopefully it helped you a little bit, either organize how you want to or gave you a set method to be able to prepare for the release of Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. Remember also, if you did like this video for whatever reason, maybe you gained something or you just liked this informational video, make sure to please like, comment, subscribe, and then also check out our other videos that have just popped up over there. We've got a lot of videos on this channel, and then over in the description you can find our links like Atrocious Gameplay on Twitch. You can join our Discord server, all of the shenanigans, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. See you later.